Hey man, this is the coach.
And I'm the Beacon. And welcome to the Point Blank Perspectives podcast.
You know what, Beacon, man, something's been on my mind, man.
Yeah, something been on my mind today too.
Yeah, whatever that's about.
No, man, because I'm gonna tell you real quick before we get into the topic, man. I just spent all day getting my car worked on, and I wasn't expecting. Well, I shouldn't say I wasn't expecting. They told me last week how much it was going to be, but basically, I went to go get my brakes fixed because my car was doing like some shaking or something. So I thought I just had to get my brakes tightened up. Next thing I know, they come back talking about, yeah, you need 2 axles, you need like 2 calipers or something else they said. So I done spent like 2 racks today out of nowhere. But this is what I'll tell you though. I remember a time in my life where a situation like that would have probably crippled me. Like it probably took me a while to come up with that bread, or I would have had to figure that out. So, in all honesty, I look at it as a blessing that I was even in a position, even though it was unexpected, to be like, you know what, I could take care of that. So, yeah. But other than that, everything is good, man.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Jeez. All right, let's get right. You know what's been on my mind, man. Friends and family.
Yeah,
That's big.
it is.
Dang, how did this topic how did I even think about this? I don't know, man. It was just something.
Well, I remember when we were trying to come up with just like the theme of our podcast.
Okay.
And I remember we were trying to come up with the theme of our podcast, and we got to a point where we were just naming stuff and rambling stuff off. And I remember us talking about, categorizing people and that whole dynamic around that, because you have your friends, you have your family, and early on in life it feels like everybody in your family is for you, and you have your friends in your life, and it feels like all your friends are for you. And then as time goes on, you start to realize all family ain't for you. All friends ain't celebrating or supporting you.
Right.
And so it gets to a point where, and then even when in the way that people show up, people don't always show up, the way that either you expect them to, or the way that they actually should. And so I think over time, it gets to a point where you have to decide, okay, well, where am I going to put my energy? So that's how I remember this topic coming up.
Okay. That sounds good to me then.
That
sounds so talking about that, how do you categorize friends and families? Because that can be real tricky at times, and because a lot of times it can be tricky when, and it's just my opinion, when it depends on your stature in life. That's when it can get tricky, because that's when a lot of times your friends and families have that privileged attitude, especially when you got a nice job, especially when you doing good for yourself. And now, so let me say this, and I'm specifically, when we're talking about friends and family, I'm specifically talking
Specifically is the word.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. Pacific is a time.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I am really, really talking to you parents out here. And let me say this. And I'm going to bring them 2 things into one to get to my point. Parents, you have one job, okay? Once your kid grows up and you realize that your kid can make it, it's unfair to you sit up there and if you ask your kid something and they may say, well, not right now, and you get an attitude. Your kid they have to live their life. And the reason I'm saying is because, this is when you have to, as the kid or kids, have to make that decision on where you put your parents at. And what zone are you putting your parents in? Because a lot of time parents will make you feel guilty, like you owe me. I don't agree with that. I don't agree when a parent puts that pressure on that kid because the kid is trying to figure it out. That's that well, you owe me. Well, if the kid feel like it, because you remember, you got your one job, you did it. So now you make this kid put you in a situation, put you in a category of sometimes you got the mother want to be over the wife. The mother feels though, you know what? I raised you. I should be number one. That's can't go like that. But
I was about to say I wouldn't know yet.
Yeah, well, I don't have that problem. But you gotta put your friends in categories because a lot of times, friends, just because I treat my friend, we're talking about put them in different categories. Just because I treat you a certain way, you may not treat me that way, like you were saying earlier.
Right.
So we have to, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put you here because this is how I deal with you. Because we don't deal with our friends all the same. Right. You're just not going to do that.
I'm telling you, I got friends all over the place.
And you don't deal with family the same.
Facts.
Because you go to family functions and everybody got that drunk uncle. and that's a cliche, and we say it. Everybody got that uncle or aunt or the cousin or whoever that really irks your nerves. And you hate. Hate is a strong word. Hate is a strong word, but you just be like, man, he think I'm a young boy. I ain't no young boy. I'm a grown man with family, with kids and a family. Come here, young boy. You ready? You say to yourself, man, I'll take you out in the back, man. I'll whoop you. You know what?
Now you want to fight?
But it gets down.
No, it do get like that.
Until you put them in the categories. That's just how I see it. What about for you?
No, that's real, man. I think for me, when it comes to categorizing friends and family, like you said, there's a difference between the two.
Right. Okay.
So it all depends on the relationship when it comes to family. Because,
please explain.
I mean, because obviously you have your parents, you have your siblings, you have your cousins. Now the people who you deal with directly, so like the immediate family, because when you, I'll say it this way: the way I was raised, your immediate family is your priority. Like that's your immediate focus. So talking about your mom, your dad, your siblings, and your aunts and your uncles,
okay,
and your first cousins. Like that's your immediate priority in terms of category.
Okay.
Then after that, depending on how you was raised, for me, it became cousins after that. So all of my cousins that I grew up with, that became my priority. Now, as life progressed, you start to find that doesn't really fit for the duration of your life, because now you and I are not first cousins, but you and I operate like siblings, like we like brothers. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Whereas I was raised where I was closer to my first cousins, but my first cousins and I, we love each other in this respect and all of that, but we're not as close as you and I are. So I just think that it's not a bad thing to categorize people, but I think it is healthy to sometimes step back and reevaluate what relationships look like and what the expectations should be for those relationships. Same thing goes for friends. So
would you say that you will step back and do a assessment or a reevaluation of what people look like in different categories as you grow up?
Yes. The answer to that is yes, but I think different scenarios forced me to do that.
Okay.
So, for example, as you get older, your interests change.
Okay.
So in some situations, it wasn't the person necessarily. It might have just been that now I like different things and they like different things. Maybe when we were growing up, we liked the same things because we spent so much time together. But now as you grow as individuals, now I have my separate interests, that person has their separate interests. And so now we kind of go in different paths. But we have that foundation of we family, we love each other, we respect each other, and that's what it is. And I could genuinely say that's what it is with me.
Okay.
You know, but there are changes that happen throughout life. And I was about to say, when it comes to friends, it's really the same thing. You grow up with your friends who you cool with when y'all kids, and then as life progresses, depending on where your life takes you or what experiences you've been through and that sort of thing, that's how you figure out, okay, well, does this friendship still need to continue? Has this friendship ran its course? You know, and it kind of reminds me of that saying that, you know, people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Okay.
So when they say a person is in your life for a reason, there might be one specific thing in your life that when you look back on your life, even if that relationship didn't last, you can look at that person and say, that person really got me through this tough time that I was going through. They may not be here now as my friend, or we might not have the same type of friendship now, but in that dark moment or in that situation, that person really showed up for me or really looked out for me.
Okay. So
whereas,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to break them down. And then the season is the person might be in your life for an extended period of time. So the reason is that one situation. The season is a certain length of time.
Okay.
And that depends. Like you might have a friend that in high school y'all was best friends, and then for whatever reason after that y'all fell off. Or you might have somebody who, like I said, childhood. That's like the main one. That's a season, because you have people who, when y'all growing up, y'all play together all the time. Y'all hang out all the time, and then as you get older and you start to mature or life starts to change, now that person is not around, or y'all might not even be friends no more. So that's your season. And then your lifetime, that's the person who throughout the duration of your life, when you just look back on it, decades, you're looking at, this person has been there.
That means that person is always there for you.
Not always, but
if you call them, you know that if I call you, man, I got a good chance that you going.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the only reason why I said not always is because it's not realistic to think that you're going to go your entire life with friends and not have, you know, some disagreements or for a person to not be able to show up for you at certain moments.
Right.
Because you never know what somebody's going through. Like they might be having their own stuff going on. So.
And that is true.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with you. So now let me ask you this question. Because this is we could talk about this part. What happens when someone in your family, you know, but now a friend is closer to you than your own blood? That's big, and some people can't handle that. So I'm talking about the family can't handle that.
Yeah, but I mean, a bond is a bond. One of my favorite rap lyrics in life is Styles P. He says something like, blood thicker than water only in certain cases. You need water to live. You learn that in the basics.
Okay.
And I love that because, you know, blood is thicker than water, but you do need water to live. And it's the same concept with your friends. Like, you know, you love your family. All family ain't the same, though. Like you said earlier, every family member don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you. They don't want to celebrate you. They don't love you. You know, sometimes. Whereas you might have a friend that really appreciates you, that really show up for you, that really supports your dreams and your goals and all of that. And so you'll bond with them a lot more than you'll bond with your blood sometimes.
Right. And a lot of times, I feel sorry for the kids that's coming up, because then you have this situation where you're forced to put your cousins in them in different categories because of the parents.
Wait, say that again?
So I said, as you're coming up, you're forced to put your cousins in certain categories because of the parents.
Oh yeah, that's
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's heavy.
You know, your cousin, you and your cousin was good.
Right.
As you was growing up.
Right.
Now, your mom and your cousin mom may be beefing.
Yeah.
So now you don't get it. You don't really get to see them like that. And as a kid, you're not really understanding. All right, what's going on? Why can't I go hang out with whoever, like we've been doing.
Right. And you don't even have control of it as a kid.
No control.
Because when you grown or when you older, you can at least, make your own decisions. But when you a kid and your parents is beefing with one of your friends or your family, you can't do nothing about it. She said you can't go over there, you ain't going.
You ain't even going. You know what I mean?
Like, but mom.
And then all of a sudden, you find yourself being upset with your cousin. Hey, my mom don't like your mom, so I'm gonna be upset with you. And you don't even know what the beef was. You and it's crazy sometimes.
And it might not even be that y'all start beefing. It might just be that you feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Because maybe you know that the parents is beefing, but maybe the other cousin don't know that they beefing. So,
right.
So they just looking at it like you just not showing up.
Right.
Or you not answering your phone or
right.
Whatever the case may be. So that's wild, man. Yeah, that's another tricky one too.
Or now this can be another one that we could talk about where because this happens, man, where your mother and father may got kids with somebody else. Now, what category you putting your step sisters and brothers in?
Yeah.
That's a big thing too.
I mean, and I'll be real with you. So I was raised as the only child.
Okay.
Right? And then in my teenage years, I want to say maybe right before my teenage years, I was introduced to technically my youngest sister.
Okay.
And that tripped me out, man.
What category?
I mean, well, the crazy part about it is you go your whole life thinking you are only child, or you go at least to that point in my life thinking I was the only child, and then I look at somebody who looks exactly like me.
Wow.
So it wasn't even a thing of like, this is not my sister or nothing like that. I literally felt like I was looking at myself as a girl.
Wow.
Like that's what it felt like.
Pause on that.
I'm just telling you.
I get it now.
Like my sister, like she looked at that time, she looked a lot like me in the face.
Right.
And it tripped me out. But at that moment, it was almost like immediately. And I think part of it too is how you're raised to treat family. So for me, I was always taught that family is important. Like it's always family first. So when I found out she was my sister, even though I had no idea who she was, how she was, and none of that, immediately I felt the connection to her. I felt like I wanted to protect her. I wanted to be there for her. I wanted to, it was just that type of thing.
Okay. So and not to cut you, but now when we're talking about, categorizing your friends and your family, it's different when you get married now.
Oh, I wouldn't know about that one.
Well, yeah, it's different because a lot of times, depending on, I'm going to say for men, there are times where men, once they get married, they look different. They act different, and you be like, oh man, what's going on? I always say, when a man get married and he act different, I don't get mad. This is what that married person look like. And you can't be first. You gotta put yourself, you ain't first because that man has a responsibility.
Right.
And if it's five of us all grew up together and we tight and then somebody get married, you see your friends, they start to get upset. Oh man, he fronting on us, man. Dang. And he talking bad about his wife. Oh man, his wife, man, she ain't shit. No, that's his responsibility.
Right.
And he has to put his friends and everything in different and put them in different areas of his life where you're not first no more. Especially if his mother's a strong-willed woman. And a mother don't want to, especially if that's her only son.
Right.
And she has so much control, and all of a sudden he meet a strong woman. And now what happens? Now there's a clash.
Right.
And now you put the man, he now has to make a decision who's the top of the food chain.
Is there a right or wrong decision to be made in that?
the right and only decision is your wife is first.
Okay. Listen, I had to ask and get clarification.
No. Your wife is first.
Okay.
Your mom will get over it, and your mom knows.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Moms know, because remember they was in a relationship. That's why you was here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they probably acted this way. Oh no, it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
So no, your mom know, but it takes the strong man to sometimes you actually got to defend your wife,
mm-hmm.
and let not just your mom, your other family, because there'll be times where, oh, I don't like her. She come to the barbecue. Oh, I don't like her. I don't believe. Look at her. And you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you gotta defend your wife. You don't want her to be uncomfortable around family.
Right.
No. We ain't playing those games.
Right.
So what you do is I don't say check them. You correct them. Listen now, this is my wife. Now I ain't got to deal with you no more.
Right.
Hey, listen, she first.
Right.
You know what I mean? No.
Now, go ahead. Because you got to get to that journey to that woman becoming your wife.
Right.
So, does it matter when you're dating where you where you rank the mom and the girlfriend at that time, not the wife?
Yeah. You
like and just to be fair and be clear about my question, when does that transition happen? Does it happen when the woman becomes your wife? She's now first priority. Does it happen when you get engaged to that woman? She becomes first priority, or is this a transition that starts to happen when you start to realize you see potential in this woman as you're dating, and you might not even be engaged to her yet? She's just your girlfriend, and you're saying now this woman becomes first. Where do you make that decision?
I'm glad you asked that question. So now I had to adjust my glasses on this one. Okay. Now,
go ahead, coach.
So when you're talking about categorizing your mom and your maybe
mm-hmm.
soon wife, maybe soon to be wife.
Right.
So now you decide, okay, you're asking me at what point do the soon to be wife jumps over the mom? Because we know once we get married, we break ties with our mom. We ain't saying we disrespect our mom,
right.
But our wife is first.
Right.
I look at it as a man, you know what? I'm going to marry this woman. If your mother is so strong where you may have to sit down and talk to your mom,
Mm-hmm.
And if your mom sit up there and have an attitude or no, okay, you know what? This is going to be my wife. She's first. So to answer your question, I believe when you know that this is the one and it's serious and that ring is on that finger,
mm-hmm.
yeah, she's going to be number one. But now it's a double-edged sword. Because because she knows she's number one, you also got to let her know, listen, you don't run this. Meaning, there are times where, yeah, I'm number one, but I know as a woman, you do something with your mom on Saturdays. Or you take your mom to shopping once in a while. Now all of a sudden, babe, I want to go here. Oh, babe, why you got to do that? Nah, we don't do that. So it's tricky, but when at a certain point when you know what, this is the one, yeah, she now jumps over your mom. And if it don't work out, well, your mom back in the morning.
Mom, remember all that stuff I said? No, I was just playing, right?
No, because what you want your future wife and your mom to get along. That's the ultimate great time for a mother-in-law and the wife to get along. Right. And it's gonna be the same thing for the wife. I hope get along with my mom. So yeah, but for men, it's a lot of pressure when you gotta do that, especially if your mom is strong-willed. She's strong at her opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, then when you get to your family, and now that situation happens, you start to drop them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The matriarch of the family, she may go over top of your mom because you got a better relationship with her. You know, but most of the time it's your wife, your mom, the matriarch. You know how people, and then it's everybody else falling like dominoes.
That's a good breakdown. So I think the answer to my question, based on what you just said, is when you put a ring on it, that's when it becomes official.
No, when you feel it.
No, but I'm saying
when you feel it, you know what?
So even before the ring, you're saying when y'all
it can
still
be,
dating.
yeah. No, but really, when you put the ring on it, yes.
Because I'll put it to you like this: when I was in a relationship, right, my girlfriend at the time, I would try to put her first, but if my mom really needed me, then my mom came first. Now, if it came down to like driving in a car or something like that, then, you know, I kind of sort of let them figure it out. I never was in a position to where I had to really do anything.
But you didn't want to do that.
Well, it didn't matter to me. Like I didn't, because we were just dating. It wasn't a thing where it was like, this is my wife. She needs to be in the front.
Okay, go ahead.
And a lot of the time in my situations when that would happen, one would say to the other, "Oh no, you can get in the front." So it made it easy.
Right. Okay.
You know, so I didn't have to really deal with that. But I guess for me, I can't imagine me making somebody who's not my wife, even if we're dating. I can't remember making somebody who's not my wife, or at least my fiance, a priority over my mother 100%.
It may not be 100%. It depends on the situation.
Okay, that's fair. And that's kind of how my situation was.
Right. It depends on, because if you don't have a ring on it yet, you may not.
Right.
So I say when some people say when you get serious. Some people say when the ring come on. It all depends on it all depends on that man.
Right.
And how much pressure that man is under.
No, that's real.
That's man, pressure get tight sometimes. Pressure tighten up, boy. You know what I mean?
So I know we spent a lot of time talking about relationships and marriage and those categories, but getting back to friends. So categorizing friends. I know for myself, I categorize a lot of my friends because I meet people from a lot of different places. So I got friends from childhood. I got friends from work. I got friends that, you know, from, being outside or different things that you get involved with. Yeah. I got friends. I got friends for sports. Like if I like certain sports, I got friends for that. So I have friends broken down like all across, but then even deeper than that, I have my friends who I know support the things that I'm trying to accomplish. I have my friends who I know I can have fun with. Like I know I can have fun with them, but I know I can't rely on them for certain things.
So you're saying, which, and I agree, your friends it depends on the
my friends are my friends.
Right.
Like it's not like I'm saying none of the people that I call friends are not my friends.
But all of them not. You don't treat them all the same. You're never gonna treat all your friends the same.
I won't say I don't treat them the same because I don't think it's necessarily that. That's probably true, but I probably wouldn't say that. I would probably say I don't show up for my friends the same way. And the reason why I'm saying it that way in particular is because I try to match the energy that my friends give me. So it's not necessarily that I'm treating them differently because I want to. It's more so I'm just giving the level of effort that is required for the situation.
But you grew into that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because over time you realize, and I think one of the reasons I got into that was because I'm the type of person, if you my friend, you my friend. Like I'm giving you 100% energy. I'm okay. If you call me and you got,
I think I know where you grade go. Go ahead.
I'm just saying if you call me and you got a problem, I'm the person that's gonna be on the phone with you, making sure you good. If you need to, you having relationship problems or a problem with somebody else and you need to talk it through, I'm there for you. If you need a couple, well, I ain't gonna put that out there, but It's a couple people in life, if they need a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And I will.
Okay.
I'm that type of friend.
Go ahead.
You need a ride somewhere. Again, I ain't putting that out there like this for everybody. But certain people, you need a ride, I got you.
Listen, he may be an Uber. I'm just letting you know.
No. Categories. Categories.
Go ahead.
That is a very exclusive category.
I got you. Go ahead.
But no, so, I mean, I'm that type of friend. And so over time, when I realize I'm not getting that energy back, that's when I start to be like, you know what? I can't give as much of myself to this person as I want to. And it's a shame because I like to be the type of friend that shows up 100% in who I am. But I started realizing that because I am that type of friend, people get more benefit from my energy sometimes than I get from theirs.
And do you feel like, because I feel like this sometimes, what you're saying, because I'm like that, but then it start to feel like, hey, you walking all over me.
I don't know.
I do.
I put it to you like this. I have felt like that in the past. But that's when I was giving way too much energy and wasn't paying attention to what I was getting back.
Okay.
Now that I'm more conscious of that, now I just look at it like, oh, I see what's going on here, and I adjust.
That's what it is.
So,
you adjust to the situation.
Right, but I'm saying that when I was younger, I felt like what you just said. I felt like, dang, man, this person just took advantage of me, or this person like got over on me. Or this,
and then you get attitude. You get attitude with that person. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I probably did. I mean, I haven't.
Ain't no probably about that.
Listen, I'm just saying it's been a long time since I've been in that space.
Yeah, I know. I would get an attitude. I'd be like, oh, okay. And then after so much, you get fed up. You be like, you know what?
Right.
You hit that button. I tell you, that button's a real hell of a button.
It is.
That effort button.
It is.
You hit that and be like, okay, I got it. And
mine always work.
Yeah, mine do too.
Mine ain't never out of order.
Listen. And then that's when you get to I'm going to give you the same energy I give you. And then that's when you start to say, I'm putting different categories. You know what? You're going here because this is where you belong.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going, it's after it's after you feel as though you've been hurt by not just one person, but a collective of people. Then it's like, you know what? Now I need categories.
Right.
Boom, you go there. Boom, you go there. Boom, you go there. But all of y'all not the same.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that disappointment, man, that'll
That's
drive
terrible.
you. That'll drive you to be like, you know what? Enough is enough.
Yep.
But you got to get to that point. You know, because I've seen people who still allow people to treat them like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they know that the situation is not a healthy one or a good one, but for whatever reason, they decide to stay in it. But I've also learned in life that I can't want more for you than what you want for you.
And men, we have a habit where, and I hate to say this, but we got a habit, we use that word day one too frequently. You my day one. And your day one, as you call them, may do you dirty. And you don't even say nothing. You just, it's cool, man. That's my day one.
Right.
He's not in no category. He has a blank check of categories. He can check anyone he want to and treat you any way he want to. But then when you return the favor back because you had enough, dag, man, why you get like that?
Yeah.
What the? You treated me like that. So now I put you in the category. So you got to be careful. Men, we got to be careful, especially these days, on, where you put a certain man in a category, because you may think he fit that category and he really doesn't. You may think, oh, it's my main man. I could talk to him about anything. And then he go right around your back and say, oh yeah, the boy was talking all that. Yeah. You can't put him in that category. We can't have a conversation where we talk about anything.
Yeah, that's real.
We can't have that conversation.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Or I can't put you in the category where I can bring you around my family because you act like a goddamn fool. Or you looking at my wife. Yeah, what you doing, dude?
That's crazy.
Yeah, listen, I put you in that category. Yeah. The category I put you in is family. You know what I mean?
I know, but that's crazy. You my friend, and I gotta put you in the category. You be looking at my wife.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, you gotta be careful, man. You gotta,
But you brought up a good category that I didn't say, but it's a real one. Everybody don't need to know where you at. in terms of like your living. Like everybody don't need to come to your house because you just mentioned that, and that's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, to your point, people are open to just allowing people when they think that they friends. Oh yeah, come on over to my house. Come on over to my place. And it's like, nah, you don't really want to do that because, especially if it's early on in the friendship, because you don't know who this person really is. You don't know what their intentions are for real. If y'all haven't really had time like that to get to know each other. You don't know what kind of baggage this person got. Like for all you know, this person could have somebody looking for him, and now they got people knocking on your door.
Right.
So that's one that's really important, man. And it's not just male friendships; it's also men and women relationships. It's the same thing because sometimes these women will come to your crib, and then next thing you know, they got somebody trying to line you up.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If the situation look right, so you gotta be careful out here, man.
That's true. True, 100%. But it's deep. It's definitely deep.
Now, do you think? I mean, obviously, it's important to categorize people, but have you ever been in a position where you had to not necessarily tell them that they were in a category, but where you had to let them know that the status of the friendship was not the same? Because I'm pretty sure you didn't say to somebody, you know what, you was my day one, but now I'm putting you over here with my associates list. Like, I'm pretty sure that conversation didn't go like
we
that.
all do it.
No, I know we do it, but I'm saying, have you ever had to?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying no names.
Yeah.
And I met a guy, and we friends. You know what I mean? This and that and this and that. And something happened, and I told him straight up, "Damn, dog, I thought you was a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta put you in this category because you betrayed me." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You had me thinking one way you was, but you was totally something different. Yeah. So now you going in this category. And if you don't like it, then we ain't gotta be friends no more.
Right.
I think you will tell somebody when you mad. And that's even family, you may not gotta really tell them, you just don't deal with them no more.
Right.
They get the picture.
Right.
Because I don't even deal with you no more.
Right.
You use other words. I don't even F with you, but I don't even deal with you, so.
Yeah. No, because I mean, to answer my own question, I normally don't tell somebody that. I normally just shift my energy. But normally, as I mentioned before, because of the type of friend that I am, when I shift my energy, at a certain point, they realize it. And now they start asking me, yo, why you don't come around no more? Why you don't, I've been calling you, I ain't been able to get in touch with you or that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I just normally shift my energy and let them figure it. Because to me, it gets to a certain point in life where you know that you're not showing up for a person the way that you should. Mm-hmm. And so I shouldn't need to have to say anything to you, honestly. Either you should be addressing it yourself to be like, oh, my bad, and then now we don't really have an issue because at least you've explained what the scenario was as to why you didn't show up the way you should have. Mm-hmm. Or you've just made a conscious decision of, oh, he'll be all right. Like, oh, he'll be all right. Or I know he's so loyal that I know he ain't going to go nowhere if I do this to him, or if I don't show up for this or that. It don't matter because I know how loyal this person is.
All right. I a little bit, I disagree with you.
That's fine. That's why we're here for the perspectives.
Right. Because if the person don't even know, that's the reason why I have that conversation with you. Because you may not really know, especially if we never had this problem before. Mm-hmm. And you may have been doing it, and it's like, all right, I've just been brushing it off. Don't worry about it.
See, I'm not that person. So in my scenarios, it's very clear. It's very clear.
But
so like I'll give you examples. If I have like a life event that's really important to me, and it was a major accomplishment, and I invite you. All right, maybe you missed one, maybe you missed two, but shoot, if we had 3, 4, 5, 6, and you ain't been to none of them,
I don't invite you no more.
That's my point.
Yeah, I don't invite you.
But that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that.
Okay, I got you.
But see, notice how you didn't say, "Oh, I'm gonna have a conversation with them and figure out what's going on." Like, no.
Okay,
I done invited you like 3, 4, or 5 times. You ain't showed up to none of my achievements or accomplishments or whatever.
Then the conversation gonna come up.
Or even if it's a money thing. And normally, you don't really want to have no fallouts over money, but I mean, it's a real thing though.
Right.
It's a real thing, and it's like, for me, most of the time, just a conversation with me, I'm cool.
Right.
Like, you let me know, yo, such and such came up, and this, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get with you and I can get with you or whatever, or
Right.
hey, this is my situation right now. I'm a little tight, but you know, I'm gonna try to get you right when I can.
Mm-hmm.
But if you owe me bread and there's no communication whatsoever about that, and we just supposed to go on as if everything is everything, or you done made a decision that you're not even gonna address it and you're just gonna try to act like everything's good, I gotta shift my energy at that point.
Okay.
It ain't no conversation we need to have.
So what happens now if it's family?
It don't matter. It don't matter to me.
Okay.
Because to me, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that's out here trying to play tough guy. Like, oh, if you owe me money,
Right.
meet me outside and I'm gonna rough you up and all that, or I'm gonna kill you. I'm not that guy. Like, that's not who I am. But all I need is communication. I just need to know, one, that you acknowledge the fact that you owe me the money or that we having whatever situation that we having, and we could probably figure it out from there.
Right.
But my biggest thing is when people don't communicate to me. When
Right.
you don't communicate to me, because to me, at the point that you can't even open your mouth and say that, there's a part of you in my mind that either feels like you don't trust me, or that you think that I'm going to do something that I'm not even capable of doing.
Okay.
And so to me, it starts to make me question, like, well, what kind of friendship is this anyway?
Right. Okay.
Because you too, and the other part of that too is you're too comfortable with my inconvenience. That's the biggest part of it.
Okay.
Because you don't know what the money is that I need.
Right.
And in my situation, a lot of times people look at my situation and they be like, oh, he don't got no kids. He got a good job. He should be good financially. Boom, boom, boom. And I am. I'm all right.
Right.
But at the same time,
You heard that, ladies? He all right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm not the wingman. I'm sorry. This ain't wingman. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but at the same time, it's like you don't know what my money is tied into.
Right.
So when you decide that you're not going to give me my money, or you're not even going to communicate to me about my money,
Family will do it to you quick too.
all of them, family and friends, I done had it from all angles. You know what I'm saying?
So what category did you put them in?
Do not disturb on my phone. Like, don't
listen,
call me. Say, don't
wait a
call
minute.
me.
Wait a minute. So for me, not to cut you off, and you made good. For me,
Yep.
when a family or friend, and we're dealing with money, for the first thing, my first rule is, I'm going to give you what I will lend you so much money where if you don't pay me back, it's okay. You now go into the category as money category is off the door.
Right.
And I can see you may need whatever to get kicked out of your home or whatever. I will not lift a finger to help you out. I will sit there with my popcorn and look at you. Well, I can't help. With my popcorn, family, friends, it don't even matter, especially when it come to money, because you know when you owe somebody money.
Right.
No, I'm sorry.
Right.
So that you owe me money category, once you go in that category, we can talk about anything but money.
Right.
We can't even talk about that.
That's
That's off limits for you.
That's dead.
That's off. Ain't nothing to talk about. We can talk about anything else. Money. And if you try to bring it, no, I don't even want to talk about that. You owe me, and I'm gonna tell you in your face, man, you owe me money, man. Now we gonna talk about something else.
Right. And then it gets to the point to where, and I don't know about you, but it get to a point to where it be so long. Sometimes you be like, man, I don't even care about the money no more. Like you might as well just keep it. Now I don't always feel like that, but I'm just saying, like sometimes, especially if it's something light, like if we talking about $10, $20 and you come back, I'm just like, bro, like you risked our friendship for that? Like seriously?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm probably not going to fly off the handle about that amount of money because that's not that deep. But I'm just using it as an example. Like sometimes the amount of money that can break up a friendship can be so small.
Right.
But it's not really about the money. It's about the principle.
Right.
Like if we really friends, we really shouldn't have no money issues when we friends.
Right.
Because I should be able to trust you when it comes to money, and you should be able to trust me.
Right.
And it should always be able to work itself out one way or another. But
right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've seen it. So.
And you put people in the categories on how you feel they are. This is just my opinion. I put people in the category sometime on how I feel they treated me. Oh, this is how you treat me?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
now you going in that category.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay, cool. I
100%.
got you.
That's
And
100%.
once you go in that category, if it's a bad category, it's hard to get out with me. I just be like, oh, okay, and just okay, no problem.
Yeah, no, that's a real one.
Yeah.
That's a real, and that one goes back to the energy. Because again, if you know the type of friend that you are, and you showing up for people the right way, and you feel like these people in whatever scenario, whether it's money, events, support, whatever, if that person's not showing up for you in that same way, like if every time you call me, regardless of what time of day it is, and I can sit on the phone with you for 2 hours and talk you through your problem, but when I call you and I'm going through something, it's like, oh man, you be all right, but look, I gotta go, I gotta do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, for real?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay, I got you now. Don't worry about it.
And we might still be friends. Like, it's not one of the things where I'm gonna hang up the phone from that and be like, oh, that ain't my friend no more.
Right.
But now I know. All right, I'm never trying to call that person, to rely on them again for that type of support in our friendship.
And I'll do, and then I'll do it right back to you.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta get ready to go. All right, man, I
Yeah.
hang up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But all of this is important to categorizing friends because I think one of the conversations we talked about previously, we talked about stress.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things where when you don't categorize people, it could lead to a lot of stress.
Right.
Because now you feel like you're putting so much of yourself out there to all of these different people, whether they're family or friends, and you're not reciprocating, or the energy that you're giving or the effort that you're giving is not being reciprocated back to you.
Right.
And that could be a very, very tough thing for somebody, especially young people, man. And I know nowadays we be talking about, there's a lot of focus on like mental health and emotional stress and all that kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, this is one of the areas I think for young people that they need to figure out because a lot of the time I think for young people in particular, and when I say young people, I'm talking about like high school, middle school kids, they're feeling the stress of, thinking that people are their friends for one reason or another, and then it turns out that those people aren't their friends. Whether it's that the person acted like they were their friend, and then next thing you know, they was talking about them or teasing them with other people, and now they felt like they were vulnerable with this person, and now the person done exploited that. Or maybe the person makes promises to them about things, and they break the promises all the time. And it happens with adults too. Like, I mean, even as adults, we got to be responsible because kids can put us in categories. You don't want to be that uncle or that aunt or that mom or that dad that's telling your kids you're going to do something and you don't do it.
Yeah, you nothing but a liar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the category thing is really important for just preserving your energy and your peace of mind.
Right. Yeah. So, go ahead. Was you gonna say? Would you want to say something?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I was about to say anything.
Okay. Well, how has categories changed depending on your life status?
So when I think about that question, I'm thinking about, I guess, going through the journey of being a kid to being an adult. Then there's also been being just a kid, making friends from just going outside and playing sports or hanging out, to being around friends that was, in the streets or doing that type of stuff. Then going to school, making friends there. Then working, getting jobs and having friends there. And at one point I worked I was doing labor work and warehouse work, so I got friends in that space. And now I work in corporate America, so I got friends in that space. So I think for me, it's always adjusted based on where I am. So, but me saying that it's adjusted, I won't even say that it's adjusted. I'll say that it's been expanded upon.
Okay.
Because it's not like I get to a point where, okay, I'm not a kid anymore. So the friends I had when I was kids, we're no longer friends. It's not that. But it is to say, okay, well now we were friends as kids, but now we're adults. What does that friendship look like? And for me, I'm all about productivity. Okay. So I need to be around somebody that is doing something. Like that's my preference these days. Like I prefer to be around people that's striving to achieve goals or, just be productive and not just sit around and not do nothing and complain and that sort of thing. I don't like that type of energy around me. So I try to stay around people that's, trying to be productive and trying to do things. But sometimes as you look back, you start to realize that, hey, some of the people that I've spent a lot of my time with, maybe they don't fit into that mold, but we still are friends.
Okay.
So now certain people from my childhood, we may still be friends, but maybe they're not going to be that ambitious person that I'm normally seeking.
Okay.
Because now I know that that's just not their energy. And that doesn't make them a bad person. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that we can't still hang out or nothing like that. But it does mean that in some cases, in some aspects of my life, that person's not going to be able to be a part of it because they don't match that energy. Gotcha. Same thing. Whereas if I'm hanging with people from like corporate America or a workspace or something where it's more like a professional setting, and now I got people that's probably closer to the street and that sort of thing, I'm probably not going to mix those two things together. You know what I'm saying? Because it might not mix well.
Yeah, it may not. You're right.
It may not mix well.
Right.
Sometimes you got friends from if you do religion, you might have friends from church or friends that's really religious, and so you might want to keep them away from certain friends and conversations. And then sometimes you got friends that are just jerks. Like I have a group of friends, like I know I can never know what's going to come out their mouth.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how they interact, and that's how we interact.
Okay.
If you were to sit around some of me and some of my friends, you'd be like, "Hey, they friends," but it's all love, and that's just how we joke around.
Got you.
But for me, that's how I categorize. It's a lot of different categories for me.
And for me, piggyback off what you're saying, I agree 100% what you're saying, because most men feel that way. But coming from a married man, when we're talking about categories changing depending on your life status, when you get married, some of your single friends, they're in certain categories like, no, we can't hang out like this. You know what I mean? Here, we can't go here no more.
That's real.
Matter of fact, come on over. I need you to meet my wife.
That's real.
I mean? So she can see how you are, And there's certain places, certain categories where, you know what, nah, I can't do that no more.
No, that's real.
When it come with your friends, man, we can't do that. Especially when they come to marry, you want to try to be with, married people. Some married people, you be with them, you be like, oh my gosh, Jesus Christ.
Like you married?
right. Or you go out with a bunch of married men and they tell me, oh yeah, where the chicks at? You like,
right.
The hell? But you didn't say that. Oh, I see what's going on here.
That's hilarious.
So married people that's married in different categories, where your status has changed. It's just like, okay, well, certain things I was doing when I was single, I can't do now.
Right.
I shouldn't do now.
Right.
We ain't gonna say I can't do
right.
I shouldn't do now. Yeah, you can't be out there. You shouldn't. I'm gonna use the word shouldn't.
No, that's real.
You shouldn't be out there chasing the young girls. Come on, man. You married, man. What you doing?
Yeah, no, that's real. Because I've been in situations before where it was like, I've went to like a single event or whatever, and I've had a friend ask, or I've had some friends ask like, "Oh, can I go?" And I already know what type of time it is. It's like,
right.
Nah, this ain't for you, man.
Right.
This ain't for you. Nah. Go ahead and stay home, man.
It's funny because we want to be as sometime, and this may not be true, but I'm going to say it anyway. Sometimes us as married men, we know we shouldn't be in that category, in certain categories, or categories the way people look at you. You know it, but you do it anyway. And listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Because I know I'm losing you right now. And what I'm saying is, from if I'm married and I'm listening to another married man, and especially if I know your wife, and you acting like a fool, you acting like you not married, the category I put you in, like, it, a lot of, I gotta be careful when I say this. You go into a category, dang, is he really cheating on his wife? I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say, but I'm saying it anyway. I'm going to say it anyway. Because you that's how you act.
You know.
And it may not be true. Especially if you're trying to do things. Because if you come on, man. If you married, I'm gonna act married.
Right.
But again, what does that look like?
I mean, but to be fair, as a single guy who has married friends, that's kind of how I look at my married friends. It's like, I don't really want to be around a married person that's outside doing whatever. Because to me, like I said before, I value marriage. So when I see something like that, it's not that it's the end of the world or nothing like that. Because I don't know what's going on in your marriage and all of that. But I would prefer to not see that, especially if it's a situation where I know the wife. Like if I know the wife and and we good and all that, that's awkward, man. Like, cause now I gotta show up to stuff, and I know he out here doing whatever, and she all nice to me and all that, and it's just like, nah, I can't do that, and I'm not going like say nothing to her because that's not my place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would prefer to not be around that person. Like, and if you're gonna be like that, then don't invite me.
Right.
Because I would prefer not to know that's your thing. But I mean, do you like I mean
that's another episode, cheating and all that. We can get in depth into that. But yeah, family and friends, it's you family and friends, so that's basically all I have to say on the whole situation. That's I got to say on it.
You said you family and friends. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's all I got. Because I want to say something, but I'm gonna go ahead and be cool, man. No. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Say something profound.
No.
Are you about to cuss?
No.
Okay, good.
No. I ain't doing no cussing. I ain't gonna cuss it now.
Thank you.
I want to say this to all you friends and families. Please, whatever you do, to not go into a certain category with someone. Like the Beacon said, it's about communication. It's about the respect. Try to remember that, because you don't want nobody to do it to you. And that's my final perspective on this situation, period.
Treat others how you want to be treated.
Yes.
That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, please. Treat others like you want to be treated.
That's real, man.
So you don't go in these certain categories, and when some categories you go in, you can't get out.
That's deep too.
And the person's so mad that they're not even trying to get you out.
Facts.
They want to keep you there, and that's it. And they ain't got to deal with you no more on that certain situation.
Facts.
That's just
that money you took was the price I paid to get rid of you.
Yes, indeed. So.
Oh, that's all you was worth?
Oh, that was it? Okay,
right.
Fine.
All right, cool.
So that's all I have to say. Anything you want to say?
I do, man. I think I want to take a opposite approach of that, because what you just said was spot on. But I think the other side of the conversation around putting people in categories is make sure that you are taking the time to reevaluate the relationships in your life, because categories are necessary. It might sound like a cruel thing. It might sound harsh or whatever, but the reality is all of us, one way or another, we do it. But when you do it intentionally, you can protect so much of your peace and just your well-being, man, because you won't waste time with people that aren't investing any time into you. And so I would just strongly recommend that people step back from time to time to say, hey, this person is my friend, but let me just do an assessment right now. How have they been showing up for me? Based on the energy and the investments that I'm making and putting into them, what am I getting back on that return of investment? Is it worth it? Because if it ain't worth it, then you need to reevaluate how you show up for that person or what you're investing into that person. Maybe it's time that you need to pull back on. Maybe it's money that you need to pull back on. Maybe it's effort that you need to pull back on. But you need to find out whatever that is. Or maybe it's just the whole friendship. Maybe you just don't even need to be around that person. Because sometimes you got people who you just know is into other stuff. I mean, and it's good when you can come up. Like if you got a friend that's out there and they doing whatever, and then the flip side is they coming around you like, oh, I was able to get this for you for cheap, or this, that, and the third. All right, that might be a win for you. But if it's to the point now where they doing stuff and it's causing you harm or putting you in danger or jeopardizing your freedom, that's not really wise. So sometimes you just got to reevaluate not only the person but where your life is at. And then make an assessment make a judgment call based on those two things. Based on where my life is at, based on what I know this person is into, and what that relationship brings to my life. Is it worth it for me to still invest in that? And if it is, cool. If it's not, cool. If an adjustment needs to be made, cool. Either way, it's all good. But it's just make sure you take that time. That's my word.
And on that note, this is the coach.
And I'm the beacon. And this has been the Point Blank Perspectives Podcast.